Hello everyone! Today we'll take a look at a bit of a different match than what we did before. This one happened in my home country of Serbia, in 2023, during the Svetozar Gligorić Cup in Paraćin, on table 1, between a 12-year-old Vera Vujović, an already world-class player for her age, and the champion of Serbia for her age. Her opponent was a woman who was one of the key figures in Yugoslav chess, a women's grandmaster named Suzana Maksimović, and the two-time Yugoslav champion and 7 times Olympiad contestant during her time. Vera was white, and her opening move was e4. Suzana responded with knight to c6. After d4 and d5, this game turns to a Scandinavian defense game, but the knight c6 is not a common way to play this opening. More commonly, the pawn would move to c6 instead, to allow the queen both a window of retreat and to develop and get back into the game if needed. Vera plays knight e2 and Suzana plays e5, an immediate sharp play to the center in her own style. Vera responds with knight to c3. Then bishop b4 binds the knight and defends the queen. Bishop d2 to enable knight again, and the queen retreats. d5, which attacks the knight who retreats to e7. a3, bishop takes at c3 and Vera takes back, leaving the d5 pawn but potentially taking the e5 pawn instead. If black tries to take the now open pawn, white would have a double attack and the pawn. If instead she defends with knight to g6, white would play h4 and h5, and if black blocks the h-line, queen d2 enables the queenside castle. Suzana here picks probably the most optimal move, f6, which defends the pawn and limits the bishop on c3, but Vera responds with an optimal move of her own in f4. Here, if Suzana takes, then that would allow the knight to provide a second line of defense on the pawn and the development of the other bishop. Now, black takes at d5. Vera takes at e5. Here, bishop to c3 was probably the best outcome for white. Then, when they trade the queens and prevent black from castling, even though black would be in material advantage, white would have both initiative, a better line of play, and a protected king, which compensates for black's one pawn advantage. Suzana here instead plays bishop f5, but Vera here plays a brilliant move that generates advantage, and she wouldn't lose that advantage for the remainder of the game. That move is knight to d4, which attacks the bishop. Suzana takes at c3 and bc3, even though it may look like an ugly position for white with the double pawns on the c-line, but here she has initiative, black's king is still in the center, the d4 knight is in a great position, and the white square bishop is ready to step into the game. Even though that e5 pawn hangs, Suzana can't take it, because her bishop hangs as well. Here she plays knight to h6 to defend it, queen f3, bishop g4, Vera takes the b7 pawn, the e5 pawn still hangs, but black can't take it because the king remained in the center and would be vulnerable to attacks, and any movement would end in a quick mate. So here she immediately retreats with a kingside castle, then bishop c4 check. Now Vera plays f6, the pawn is defended twice with a potential promotion. Next is c5, attacking the knight who protects the f6 pawn. But Vera plays another great move in a kingside castle. Black can't take here because pawn to f7 is a fork, attacking both the queen and the rook. e7 before the castle would just result in rook to e8. Susanna moves her queen, but that is a mistake. And now Vera plays knight b5 with tempo. Queen d2. Now Vera could have played e7, but she takes a safe approach and moves her king to h1. a6. Knight c7. Attacks the rook and defends the promotion square e8. Rook b8, queen e4, bishop f5, Vera gives away her rook, knight f5, queen f5, queen c3. The only good move for black that attacks two pieces at once, but queen f1 protects both at the same time. So Susanna plays rook c8, Vera could have took at a6, but she plays d5, with the promotion still in plan and an overwhelming advantage in this position. Susanna takes at c2, bishop d3, queen b2, rook e1 supports the promotion line, c4, bishop takes, queen d4, and now e7. It's too late to take the bishop because of the promotion and mate. Susanna moves to h6, but Vera takes at a6, which can't retreat to e8 because of another quick mate, as you can see here. And now, in this position, Susanna surrenders in the 31st move. If you liked this video, make sure to leave a like, share it with a friend, comment your thoughts and subscribe to our channel, as it helps us deliver more quality chess content for you to enjoy. Have a nice day and see you in the next one.